Well, hello there, YouTube. Welcome to a beautiful 5:35 or 5:25 in the afternoon, Thursday, the 5th of October. So Kelly comes in at the last second. She goes, "I need to call in. I can't make it to another day." She was sicker than a dog yesterday, so she's slept a whole lot today. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I stayed home with her as well. And so I did something I haven't messed with in a long time because just got busy doing other things, as you do. And so for the Red Cat Gen 9, literally the best handling, the best crawling, I mean, hands down, my best performing crawling, scale crawler. And it's heavy. It goes over everything. The worst thing it does is it doesn't steer because the diffs are always locked. Well, about 2 months ago, I ordered this Trio rack and pinion set for overdriving the front end. So finally, I took that thing apart and I put that front end overdrive in there. I don't know what the percent is, whatever it is, how Trio figured it out. It's specifically the overdrive for the Gen 9. That thing literally turns the best scale crawler I got. It literally goes over anything you pointed at. The thing's amazing. But it doesn't steer. It's horrible. It just pushes them front wheels around everywhere. And I think maybe because of its weight, it has something to do with that as well. But it's always this multi-point turn. So I put that ring and pinion set in there up front. And yeah, totally different truck. It's a whole nother world. And I'm not sure what the ratio is, but you can actually see it at times when you're in the dirt. And if you put it in high gear, you got to be very careful in reverse because it does reverse stoppies like crazy. It throws dirt out the front end and it just does a big roost and kicks the rear end up in the air. I love the absolute scaleness of it. It's just fantastic. Love this truck. It is the noisiest one. It's got the most tranny whine and stuff to it, but I don't care. The thing works so good. And this is the Trio weighted wheels and the Proline BF Goodrich KM3s. That it's the Predator compound. It's the Blue Dot, the super soft compound. But they were so soft, I had to use Proline dual stage foams in them to make it work because they were way too soft. But even with them dual, how the Prolines just work so much better. And Jora's got some, and I don't know, they don't fit the tires that I'm trying to use them with. I actually have them in a set of something somewhere, and they actually work good. But these tires, they're too loose on them, and they tend to roll. Well, this thing would push the front end so bad that even the inner forms fit really tight against the inner ring, which is the weighted ring in between the two-piece bead lockers, it would push them over, and it'd look concaved on one side and convexed on the other side. And since I've been out here playing with this thing, just amazing how well this thing works now. The dual stage foams are staying centered in the wheel because it's not being when you turn, it's dragging the front end everywhere. Does not do that at all anymore. Fantastic truck. This thing's super fun. And now that it steers like a dream, it steers like a Traxxas TRX4 with the diffs unlocked. It's that good. Really good. So man, you're looking good out here, old Gen 9. Holy moly. A little bit of fall colors going in the background and all that stuff. That's a picture you sent home to mama right there. So let's just play around out here on the old stump route here. just so you can see how well this thing turns and goes over everything with that front end being overdriven slightly. It just goes anywhere you point it. It's fantastic. Look at this thing. Hands down my best. Just, I don't know. I love my TRX4s by a long shot, but scale crawling, this thing's got it absolutely beat. And now that it steers like a dream, absolutely fantastic. You catch it at certain spots, like especially in the gravel out there in the pit, in the overhang of the barn over there, and you can actually see the fronts. You can see them turning faster than the rears. But you just pretty much point it where you want it to go, and she will take anything you throw at it. Just steers like a dream. And that front end turning slightly faster helps just kind of claw that front end along. Yeah, it's perfect. And this one's got the stock steering servo. Remember I did all that work to it and got done with it, and I forgot to put the servo in there. Hasn't done anything wrong, so I've just left it stock so far. But I got a nice steering servo ready to go in whenever I take it all back apart again. I'd have to pull some video up for you to see it. But before, it was like a 10-point turn to get this thing to turn on that soft, smooth wood, or just smooth, I guess. It would just push that front end around. So you had to basically get the truck pointed where you want it to go to get it to turn correctly. And it helps with crawling when the front end has traction. It turns a little faster speed. It is overdriven, and it helps drag the rear end along, and it just pulls it along with it till you bottom out on something. There you go. Absolutely fantastic. Watch this. It does. You put it in high gear, and man, it does a reverse wheelie really, really good. It's got that Fusion Pro motor. You can just crawl along. So nice. You can be really techie with it. It's very nice. My little rock thing that's very rapidly disappearing under the grass here. But it steers through all that. It just, wherever you point it, it goes. Except for it bottoms out on this one rock right here. If I can go a little high on it and get those front wheels to grab, it sails through it pretty good. Really nice. Really nice. The old lawnmower deck. There's a couple of mallards flying over. That's some weird sounds. But this thing would, on this slickery old lawnmower deck, this thing would push the front end around really bad. And yeah, it just steers through this wherever you point it. I can't believe a cheap little overdrive gear set made that much of a difference with this thing. Come on up there, gal. And the ability to turn so sharp is just priceless. I think I'm gonna get it stuck right here though. You gonna get stuck? What you gonna do? Come on over that thing. You got this. Oh yeah. The key is not to grab the metal pieces and look at that thing, it turns on a dime. It's so nice. You get out in some real world crawling scenarios and put this old gal through her paces. Oh, it works so good now. And then all these little obstacles out here, if you pay close attention, you'll see the front ever so slightly turning faster than the rear. Especially you get on these slippery things. See how it's literally, it's actually spinning, where the rear is just one-to-one, it's just grabbing. But look how tight I can turn this thing now. I could just spin it like a top almost. The sketchy thing is coming down this, because the braking performance is different, because the front wheels are turning faster. They have a little more braking effect, so sometimes I got to touch the throttle to keep her from nose diving. Let me get to a different position here. So once the rear brakes over the weight of the truck, because that thing's steep enough, still haven't got my gauge out here to see what percent of a grade that is. It's pretty steep. But as soon as those rear wheels roll, you'll see it wants to take off a little bit. So your first reaction is to hit some brakes. And of course, when you do that, she wants to endo, so you have to think opposite and give it a little gas. Let's see what she does here. Oh yeah, look how light that rear got. Literally the other wheel, I think, was off the ground there for a second. But the reverse side of this is she goes up this thing. Like I say, them front wheels are now grabbing and clawing away compared to the rears. It's cool how I can turn real sharp and approach these obstacles a lot better than I was before. Well, don't roll off of there now. If something weird's going to happen, it's when you got the camera going, right? But to watch how this thing effortlessly crawls up the front now. I think this is where you can see the front starting to spin a little bit compared to the rear as well. See, there's a different ratio between the front and rear. It just eats that thing alive. Whoa, watch the reverse there, son. I don't have anything kind of toned down on this one. I just kind of everything's kind of in hyper mode. Just gotta make sure you got them rear wheels. Make sure you got them timed in a way they're gonna land on the ramp, which looks like it will. Otherwise, they kind of go thump on the ground. Oh, look at that. Look, it's doing that weight transfer thing because of the front wheels. Whoa, that rear wheel is barely on over there. Sketchy. So that's one thing about going downhills with the overdriven front end. Makes it a little weird. Let's go play on the old bridge over there, the old brick bridge. Okay, old gal. The truck didn't go anywhere. I moved around. The way this thing climbs with that front end just grabbing and digging ahead of the rear. So nice. This works so good. So you can see a little, pay attention, you can see the ratio of the front turning just ever so quicker than the rear. You can like put some tape or something on the wheels and just hold it in the air, and you'll see that the front end spinning faster than the rear. I'm not going to do all that. About 101 videos of people showing that. That Predator compound with those BF Goodrich KM3s. They flat work good on this. I have the G8 compound on Kelly's green Gen 8 with no dual stage foams. The tires are stiff enough that they hold on their own. And that's not a super light truck in itself. I bet it's weird going backwards up it though, because now all that effect is working in reverse. I don't know if I can even get this thing to go up that. Will it go up? Nope. First thing, bumper hits. You know, for some reason, it seems quieter than what I remember it. Seems like it was quite loud, this thing. Very impressive truck. Very, very impressive truck. She just digs and claws and makes her way along. So impressed. A simple ring and pinion set just formed this thing, and not having that driveline binding like that. I can't believe, how do you not notice something like that? It's like, where's your mind at? How do you not even see that thing? I knew to look for it in the front because the length of the pinion shaft where it connects to the drive shaft is a little bit longer. So, you know, Trio themselves even has a little blip on their, I think I got it through their Amazon page, and says, you know, make note, you might have to trim that down. Well, I didn't have to adjust that at all, because I mean, I think it was even binding when it was stock. But these are, I think this thing had, what was it, 97 millimeter shock stock, and I went to the 90s, and this is the Vanquish shock kits that I got. If you can make any of that out. Whoa, let's drop my controller. The center's flying. That old cheesy, plasticky controller that came with this thing, I had no desire to change it for anything. I love it when stuff just works right out of the box. Already super impressive RC truck, just became like night and day better. Sure love these things. Well, it's the end of the day. You can see sunset's just moments away. You can just see what's kind of skimming over the mountains and the trees back there. Kelly's sitting there relaxing, all cuddled up in a blanket, watching something on the boob tube. So I'm not going to bother her to come out here and say goodbye with us tonight. So I'll get you from here. Thank you for watching me goof around with the RC car. I was pretty excited over that thing. It's still kind of spinning over how well it works with that overdrive up there. Love that little truck, man. That was a perfect find. Now I'm looking at, you know, finding overdrive for the Gen 8 and some of the other ones. I don't know. I mean, that works so well. The Gen 8 seems to do fine without it. So it was Gen 9 was very noticeably pushing that front end around. So that just works perfect on that. But anyway, as the end of the day approaches here, and everybody's all mellowed out, other than Annie running around back there barking if you heard her. But thanks for watching today, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Take care now. Bye-bye.